We are seeing a lot more customers catching up with sending flows from the network into QRadar for network behavior anomaly detection, and that's a good thing. It really increases the visibility on things that otherwise will be hidden. But one concern that some customer has is that there are some type of flows, for example, probably the best case is a voice over IP, in which you don't really are going to be finding a lot of stuff from the network anomaly behavior detection from, phone traffic. There's one option that you can do is that you can actually ask the networking people to filter that at the network level, so they don't send you, that type of traffic. But sometimes there are political reasons or lack of control or whatever it is. The reason, and sometimes that doesn't happen. So, and you don't really want to pay for getting your flow licenses to be used over stuff that you are not going to be doing any correlation at all. So I don't know if, and that's the reason I'm making this video. Not too many people are aware of the fact that QRadar can actually drop some flows using the routing tables, and that's actually something that was brought to me by my friend Leopoldo Aguirre, also known as Polo, and he showed this to me, and I said, well, I need to show this to the people out there that use QRadar, because when you drop using routing rules, so we're going to show all these in detail, when you drop those flows, for example, that are defined for your voice over IP, you get license giveback. So in other words, you do need to have the hardware that performs the analysis, but licensing wise, you don't pay for those. What we are going to be doing in here to show that is, well, first, I think I need to show you on the admin tab my network hierarchy, in which I have, and you'll see that the routing rules can be done on networks over IPs. I'll show you some more when I get there, but I'm going to do the filter in my demo system on network hierarchy. And my voice over IP network is 172.68.15. I call it the 15 network. That's where I get my voice over IP traffic. Then I'm going to show you also in the admin table, in the admin tab, where I create a routing rule, where I basically tell, please drop all the events that come from that network hierarchy definition, right? So, as a result of that, we're going to show three things. First of all, that they do not show up in your network hierarchy precisely because they are being dropped. So we're going to show in the network hierarchy tab that you don't see those. But to prove that this traffic is actually there, where I haven't even mentioned where how I'm gonna be simulating the traffic. But so let me actually do that right now. I'm gonna have another box where I'm gonna be using TCP replay, and I'm replaying a pickup that contains traffic from that 15 network. Okay, and actually, just for completeness, this is the address of the Linux box that I'm going to be using for TCP replay. Okay. So CentOS. But to prove that this traffic is actually hitting the box, I'm going to use the TCP dump command at the QRadar instance, so you will see that traffic hitting the box, but not showing in network hierarchy. Also, we're going to be showing in the log activity tab that there is a message that really tells you that the system is actually giving you back those licenses. And finally, we're going to show in an old dashboard that existed there forever, in which you can actually monitor, what is happening on the traffic. So let's get to the demo. So here in the network hierarchy, I actually went ahead on the voice over IP network and created this voice over IP net 15. Okay. Of course, whenever you make definitions on your network hierarchy, you need to deploy the changes. Let me also show the routing rule, which, by the way, you don't need to deploy changes when you create or modify routing rules. Let me edit that one. And notice that what I'm doing on this one is acting online, and it's acting on flows. And the criteria for selecting what I'm dropping, notice all the options that I have in here, plenty. But the ones I selected is, in this particular case, is source network. And I pointed out to my network hierarchy on the one I just showed you before. And then the key here is to select the drop check mark, and then that traffic is not showing there. So I have the that's not what I want to show you. Let me actually get the TCP/IP machine that I'm using for the replay, and notice that I have here the actual command that I'm going to be showing. Let's see, sorry about that. I'm just doing a TCP replay, and because I have the Q flows set up in here, then it leaves the port ENS33 of this machine and is playing that pickup that contains traffic from that 15 network. Okay, so just want to make sure that you get the command. M10 is just the speed, right? Then I'm also have the QRadar box. This is the actual QRadar box, in which I'm going to be doing the TCP DOM, and I'm going to look for, this particular traffic from the 15 network. I'm selecting the 179, which I know exists there. So that stuff is actually in it, and I'm going to replay the pickup. But before I do that, let me actually go to the network activity tab and do a search here on real time, and I'm filtering all the boxes that are related to QRadar, so we can focus on that part of the actual traffic itself. So let's play the pickup, and I'm going to pause the video. This takes a few seconds to begin to work out. So notice that in the TCP DOM, I'm getting traffic from that 15 network hitting here. I'm just looking on that 179, but in here we don't see that traffic because it actually has been dropped. And that's precisely what you want. Now, I also mentioned that if I go to the log activity tab and do a quick filter on, I think it is license get back flow. Let me see if I got this right. Oh, it's not an advanced search, it's actually a quick search, sorry. And if I perform a search here, oh, actually I got them there. No, these are not. No, let me actually perform the search on the last 15 minutes or so. 5 minutes should be sufficient. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Actually, I have some other filters that were preventing me from seeing that. Now that I only have that quick filter license get back flow, we see these information messages. When we open those, precisely indicate that license get back flow count and even tell you how many those were. I mean, this is a very little traffic that I'm doing in here, but you see, I hope that this shows the point. If I go to the dashboards in this system monitoring dashboard, and I adjust clicking here, adjusted the time, you will see the peak of the traffic when the system was starting. Actually, I think that the bumps are actually this one, when I was sending some traffic. This is a very small amount of flows, but you can, in a real system, you can actually monitor them here. So I hope this proved the point of the fact that you can nicely filter using routing rules. You can nicely filter your let me actually go back to the admin tab, your flows, and drop them. Again, as we mentioned before, you need to have the appliance. If you are dropping voice over IP events at the rate of X number of flows per minute, for the hardware specification, you need to keep those into consideration, because the hardware is performing the analysis, is that the system is giving you back those licenses. Let me thanks once more my friend Polo for bringing this to my attention.